man on screen, Steve Smith. You don't often go into a World Cup in the middle of a tournament and this guy has only got 205 runs and averaging 29. He's one of the key players for Australia. Probably been overshadowed by a lot of players out there at the moment, but is it a bit of a form slump for Steve Smith, do you think?
I think you'd have to say yes. I use a metric, guys, I'm interested in your opinion. In one-day international, if you're in the top 6 batters, 1 to 7, even 1 to 7, a strike rate of 85 and an average of 35 is a pass mark. At this World Cup, only Warner, Maxwell, Marsh and Head have achieved a strike rate of 85 and an average of 35. So Labuschagne, Smith, Inglis, Stoinis and Green are under par. That's why Australia bank heavily on that top 3 going right off. They shoot cannons from the outset, Warner, Mitch Marsh and Head. But the Beavers are Labuschagne and Steve Smith, but their strike rate, as we see on that table, Labuschagne at 77, Smith sneaks in at 86. Is it high enough?
I don't think it is, Hads, but we just seem to just get over the line. I just get the feeling we have not fired with a bat. I know we've got glimpses of brilliance from certain players, but have we fired?
No, we haven't fired as a team. We've fired at stage at the top of the order and been really destructive, and we've been really good at stages at the back end of the game. But it's been at that middle part of the game that we haven't played our best cricket. And Steve Smith's there to control that part of the game. He's been dismissed a lot by spin, which is not normal for Steve Smith. Marnus Labuschagne's actually come in and played really well through those middle overs. But
why is he averaging 15 in this tournament?
Well, I actually think he's been too cautious. I think Steve Smith's role can be, yes, he'd come in and play the spin well, knock him down the ground. I would like to see him go back to taking the game back on. When he takes the game on, he looks to be proactive. He can score a run a ball 100, Steve Smith, and he can put pressure back on the bowlers. I just think he's letting the bowlers dictate a little bit too much to him rather than being more proactive and looking to be busy.
And I think his best number is 3.
I agree.
But Mitch Marsh is locked in at 3. Is
that upsetting him?
I don't think he should be, Skull.
Yeah.
I think you need to have a look at leaving Steve Smith there at 3, especially at Calcutta.
Yeah.
It mightn't be the surface we've been seeing right through the tournament. It might be hard work. So I'd like to see my best player back at number 3 and maybe use Marsh back at 4 or float at the end for his power.
This is him at 3 against India.
Yeah. And look, and he says, he has said, I prefer to bat 3. Yep. He's at 4. He doesn't like waiting to bat. If Warner and Head go off, he has to wait a long time. He's a sluggish starter.
But can you build your batting order around him? Because you've got Marsh that looks pretty good. You have Travis Head that blitzes at the top there. I mean, do you try and accommodate Steve Smith just to try and fix a problem or not?
I do, because he's a winner. Yep. Steve Smith wins things. He wins test matches. He's won ODI matches. He knows how to get over the line. If number 3 in the order is his best option for getting over the line, give it to him.
All right, well, give me your order then. So if you're going 3, what's your order?
Well, my order would have him at 3 and Mitch Marsh a bit further back, but they are locked in to Head, Warner, Marsh, which means Smith 4. I've got Labuschagne at 5. I've got Maxwell at 6 and Inglis at 7.
Right.
Inglis has misfired at 5. He's a finesser late in the order. I think Australia now are locked in to Smith and Labuschagne controlling the middle overs, 11 to 40, but at a low strike rate. They may have to lift it against South Africa in that semi-final.
So you've got no Stoinis or no Cam Green's not going to be. No, you've got no Stoinis.
I'm leaving Stoinis out because he's picked on X Factor and he hasn't delivered. When the X Factors don't deliver, you're in trouble. He's averaging 21. He doesn't play spin well, and Maharaj and Tabraiz Shamsi could be waiting for him at Calcutta on a turner. You've got to be on the South African spinners there. I think he's a weak link if Australia is to get big runs in that semi-final. I'm leaving Stoinis out.
Okay, is that why we've had the batting collapse? If I point you towards the screen there, you'll see that there. 6 of 66 against India, 6 of 43. Netherlands, I get it, when you're 2 for 244, you throw the bat at it. But Hads, is that why Scull's leaving Stoinis out?
Yeah, I think that's exactly why he's leaving out. I think under pressure against Afghanistan, he probably come up a little bit short with the shot he played. He hasn't scored a 50 since 2019. So I would push Inglis back down to 7 as well to control those back part of the
Why
games.
did we drop Kerry then?
Well, we dropped Carey because of his batting. We wanted someone in the middle order that plays a little bit unorthodox, takes the spin on. Do we need another left-hander in those middle orders?
But Inglis is not fired. So what are we going to go? We can't go back to Carey. That's done, right?
But there's no U-turn now, BJ. We're approaching a semi-final. They've agreed on a strategy, which means Inglis is the keeper. We agree he should be at 7. Maxwell stays at 6. But they're backing Marnus in the middle order and Steve Smith. Whether it's the right tactic, we don't know, but they're so far down that line, there's no turning back.
Heads, give me your top 7 heading into the semi-final against South Africa on Thursday.
Oh, I think the top 7's Warner, Head, Smith, Marsh, Marnus, Inglis and Maxwell. But but the way I use them is depending on the surface and how the game's playing out. We seen against New Zealand when Australia took the game right on. Head and Warner took the game away. The Mitch Marsh came in and tried to play with craft, tried to work the one, took balls up.
Didn't work.
Well, in that situation there, I want Mitch to go at 3. I want him to take the game on and continue the momentum. If we lose a wicket early, then you've got to make a decision. Is it a surface where you want Marsh to continue to go out and take the game on and play a high risk, or you put Steve Smith then at 3 because that's where he scores his 100. If we lose early wickets, Steve Smith's best ratio for hundreds is then. So I wouldn't lock anyone in. I'd have a look at the surface and see how the game pans out.
Well, you know Calcutta. Calcutta, you're saying Smith at 3, Inglis at 7.
Yes. I'm virtually no Stoinis. I'm virtually going... I'm going the same. I'm going Warner, Head, Smith 3, Marnus 4, Marsh 5, Maxwell 6 and Inglis 7. It's going to turn. The boppers are at the back. For the overs 11 to 40. I'm saying to Marnus and Steve Smith, you get us 160 between overs 11 and 40. We'll get 60 from Head and Warner at the top. We'll get 160 from you, that's 220. And the Bombers will come late for 80. That's 300 plus. That should win a semi-final on a slow turner. And that's my game plan. But Smith and Marnus are absolutely key to Australia winning this first semi-final and potentially the final.